Haiti Biz News Show, Monday to Friday, bringing you news that's going to keep you engaged, informed, and reacting in the most optimum way for your business, investment, entrepreneur activity. Today is the 8th of May. Let's talk about it. We have an article, HaitiBizNews.com, 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 that is magnifying some of the work that international donors are doing in the country. Very important work. I don't care who's doing the work. I would much prefer, of course, it would be the Haitian government fully engaged in the process and apparatus of educating its people. But in this case, it's coming from the World Bank and international donors. It's a very interesting program. The program itself is called Education for All Project. It is focused on providing education opportunities to citizens of Haiti across the country, with a big emphasis of rural areas. There is a big gap in rural areas particularly, and I mean, when we really get into a deep dive of what's wrong with the current Haitian educational system, right? From there's lack of reliable data, there is a shortage of school infrastructure, qualified teachers, and ultimately inefficient governance around everything relating to the process and the system that's in place currently. We can go into it, and certainly 2010 didn't help, right? It's totally devastating, the earthquake, between destroying schools and then the economy that was totally in shambles, and folks not being able to send their students, their kids to school. We know that 80% of all Haitian students are going to schools that are non-public, meaning parents are having to pay private schools, private entities, money to educate their kids. Nothing's wrong for private. In fact, some of the better schools, for example, in America, are for private. Nothing is inherently wrong with that. The cost of sending a student to school in Haiti is about, roughly on average across the country, $130. That can be prohibitively expensive depending on the exchange rate and the time. That's anywhere from 10,000 to 12,000 good, and it's difficult to say if some folks even make that even in a single month, much less to be able to put that aside to educate their students, their kids. And you can imagine that there's a lot of folks, a lot of students who aren't able to go to school. So this program is there to provide that degree of assistance. The World Bank put, from 2011 through 2018, $70 million aside to help with students going to school. In addition, we have an additional $24.1 million set aside by international donors, including the U.S., France, and at least five to 10 other countries that put aside. And that program is supposed to provide tuition exemption programs, implementation of school, health, nutritional food program, improving the quality of primary education, teachers, training activities, support for reading instruction, and institutional capacity building. Those are the things that the program is geared to provide. Now, I'm someone who's very, very interested in trying to figure out exactly what the results are, right? And this is what the focus of this program is about, to talk about what the results are. So from 2011 to 2018, we have results. Nutrition program reached 460,000 children and 450 schools around the country. Net enrollment rates went up, depending on the year we're looking at, from 50% to 70%, depending with the schools that participated. 480,000 grants were provided and awarded. 57 community schools were built with 6,500 additional students able to go to school through these new schools that were built, mostly in rural areas that didn't have these resources available to them. 33,570 newly accredited teachers, again, mostly rural areas. 91 schools rehabilitated after Hurricane Matthew devastated the area in the south of Haiti, the southern tip. So we can see that while the World Bank and other international bodies can get a bulk of criticism for what they don't or do, it's very important to highlight effective, important programs that are in place and are helping Haitians at the ground level. And this is one such program, if the stats are to be generally appreciated at face value, that has really provided an important ROI back to the students in question. Analysis. I am aware of a good amount of Haitian diaspora who have returned back to Haiti with the specific intent of providing school opportunities to specific areas where they're from. May it be in Port-au-Prince, may it be from their more traditional part of the country where their family may be from. And they've been actually successful. Successful in the sense that they're able to pay their teachers with the tuition that they charge, and modest tuition, usually in line with the average. Oftentimes, I've conversated with them, and it's considerably less than the average. Able to cover their teachers, able to cover the cost of running a Delco, if necessary, school supplies for the students, and other programs. For example, a meal a day provided to the students who do come and attend. So I know from personal conversations that running a school can be at least a break-even endeavor, and if run particularly effective, or if leveraged with non-for-profit activity, can actually provide a bit more beyond the break-even and provide ability to be able to reinvest that excess funds into the school itself to grow and provide even better experiences and better educational capacity to the folks who are participating, who are coming to be educated, right? So that is something I want to leave you folks with who are thinking about different ventures and different things to do in the country. Education is a fantastic opportunity to know that you're having a direct one-on-one connection with those who you're providing that service to. It can be done in a way that is self-sustaining, right? Certainly you can. And most importantly, the know-how and the capacity that you're bringing from abroad in whatever domain you're in can provide a very important X factor, and certainly important specialization that potentially you can add in addition to the general curriculum that you're providing. So these are all reasons why it makes sense to think about education coming into the country and setting up different schools to help provide access and capacity, especially if you can tweak that to make it in a way where it's just not, because what happens in America, you go to school, you don't find a job. But instead, if you can tweak that curriculum to say, okay, once you graduate from our school, from our program, you will be your job, right? You will have the capacity to be able to open up your own business, be able to you yourself be your own entrepreneur. If there is even a way you can even provide a little bit of startup seed funding for whatever endeavor that they're looking to get into, something like that would be even cherry on top. But allowing them to finish and then be self-sufficient with a particular field or domain, that is even something else to consider when you set up your school. Because again, we know the reality, jobs are a rare thing in Haiti, and so as much as you can help your students once they get out to be self-sufficient, that's the winner. So, you like what I'm doing here? You already know. Give it a like. Drop a comment. I like to argue. I'm gonna respond to you. So make sure I can read something. Make it read good English. Give a subscribe. Hit a notification, and we'll be back at it again when we're back at it again.